This tutorial guides you through adding new products to Darby Inventory. You'll first want to make sure that you're in the inventory screen by clicking the inventory button on the top and then products on the left. To add a new inventory item, click Add in the lower right hand portion of the screen. This will bring up the Add Products wizard. The first field is inventory type. We will discuss service, labor, and non-inventory items in a separate tutorial, so just leave it as inventory for now. The product number is a unique identifier that you can assign. One example may be your vendor SKU, so if you have a SKU from your vendor, you can enter it here for easy reordering later. You can also just leave that field blank. The next field is name, and here's where you will either enter an item description, a short description, or the name of your inventory item. For example, we will enter the Zoe area rug. And then in the description field, we will give it a larger description that will help in searching for this item. So this is a gray area rug with cream and black swirls. And you want to give as much of a description as possible to help you search for this item later. For the barcode, you can enter any barcode that you like. For the barcode, you can enter any barcode you like. For this example, we will enter rug and then the star symbol or asterisk sign. What this will do is go fetch the next number. So for example, for the Zoe area rug, the barcode I'm assigning is rug and then an incremented number. So by entering the star, the system will go find the next available number so that I don't have to remember what that number is. Just leave the default unit of measure at each. Then click Next. The sale price is what you would sell the item to your customer for. So for example, when you have a customer that says, I absolutely love and must have this Zoe rug, what would you sell it to them for? And remember, you have shopped for the item one time, you've paid for that item, and we as stagers are great shoppers, so you want to keep that in mind, and then you have to shop for it again. So you might enter a minimum of 3 times of what you've paid. So I will enter $999 as an example for this item. The recurring price is what you would rent your item for. And typically in the staging industry, 10 to 20% of your unit cost is standard for a rental price. So again, it's not 10 to 20% of the sale price, it's what you paid, and we haven't actually entered that yet. So for this example, I will just enter $45 and leave it at month, and I am going to leave this as taxable. Whether or not you charge tax on your items, you can leave it as taxable in case you need to do that in the future. That way you don't have to go through and edit a bunch of items. Click Next. And here's where you can enter your dimensions. So this is an 8 by 10 area rug. And it is feet, but for inches or other dimensions, you could just select the appropriate one. We don't have the weight for this item, so I will just click Next. Here's where you assign your product category. To do that, click the Add button towards the lower left, and then you can either start typing the category and then selecting, or if you're not sure what the category is called, click this folder on the right hand side. That will bring up a list of all the categories. Click the triangle to show your subcategories and then select the appropriate one. Click OK and then click Save. You can add more than one category to each item. So for example, if this is a side table that you also use as a bedside table, you can enter both of those categories. You would just click Add again and then navigate to the new category. Click Next once your categories are selected. For tracking options, you won't use those, but just to show you, there is the ability to track by expiration date, lot number, and serial number. Most stagers don't use these options, so just leave that at no and click Next. Here's where you'll enter where you purchased the item, how much you paid for it, and how many you bought. So if the vendor is already in there, you could just select the vendor from the drop-down list. If you're just beginning to use Darby, most of your vendors will likely be new. To add a new vendor, click the green plus sign, and then simply enter your vendor's name. Only the name is required, but you can certainly enter information for the remaining fields. Click Save, and it adds your vendor to the drop-down list, so you'll only have to do that one time. Again, the product number is the SKU number that this particular vendor assigns to the item, which you may or may not have. You can leave that blank. Location defaults to the location that was set up when you first created your Darby account. If you have more than one location, just select the proper one. This is where you actually store your inventory items. Then enter the quantity purchased and the purchase date. To enter a new date, just click the calendar and select the date. The unit cost is what you actually paid for the item. So in this case, we paid $299. Then click Finish. You will be asked if you would like to add an image for the Zoe area rug that we entered. If you don't have your image right now, simply click No and you can add it later. If you do, click Yes, and then browse to the photo on your computer. Click Save, and you'll see the camera icon has been added to this item. If you hover over the camera, it pops up an image of the item. And that's all there is to adding inventory items. We'll go through it one more time to show that once you get the hang of the wizard, it's very fast to add your inventory items. So we'll add one more item here, and this is going to be a vintage, actually I'm going to say large vintage plain art. And it's a black and white vintage print. I'm going to give the barcode art with the asterisk sign to increment the number. Click Next. I'll say we would sell this for $3.99. So again, I have a customer that really wants to buy that. I would rent that for $20 per month. Click Next, and we'll say that this is 32 by 48 inches wide this time. And then I'll add my product category. Large piece of artwork. Click OK, then Save. Next, I can skip the tracking options screen, and I'll say that I bought this at Cost Plus. I bought 3 of them because they were a great deal. I'm trying to stay on top of adding my inventory items, so I'll say I just bought these yesterday and they were on clearance for $29. Click Finish. I would like to add an image. Click Browse. Find the item. Then click Save. And that's all there is to it. So you'll just repeat this process for each of your inventory items. Now say you did not have your photos when you created your inventory item. All you need to do is highlight the item, then click Media right here at the bottom of the screen, then click Add, and again browse to the photo on your computer. That's all there is to adding inventory items. This concludes the Adding Products to Darby Inventory tutorial.